Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. I got another reaction video, but this one is talking about, I guess, rappers exposing the true life of Kodak Black. Alright, so before anybody say anything, I know Kodak Black is not as good as he used to be, or he's not as popping as he used to be, but there are still Kodak Black fans. We can't deny that. Whether they still listen to his old stuff or they, you know, follow him for when he drops new stuff or whatever the case may be, he still has some fans. So I figured I'd, you know, see what it's about. So this is my first time watching this video, and I'm gonna just give my take on it.
Looking at all your cases and everything you've been through, and I know the recent one right now is very sensitive, but you know, we take sexual assault here serious. We hope, you know, to have you back so we can have a deeper conversation about that, because, you know, this is a serious topic.
One thing we were talking about on the show today, the idea that landing on the moon was a conspiracy. Kodak, do you believe that our moon landing in 1969 actually took place?
What the fuck y'all talking about?
You seem upset that I brought it up.
I feel like sometimes when niggas like be going through shit, like y'all be entertained by bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? Change the subject, I'm finna walk out.
Well, no, they tried to change the subject. They was talking about the moon landing.
That's bullshit too. So talk about something else.
I think.
Yeah, I remember when that clip right there went kind of viral and stuff like that. But I mean, if I remember correctly, dude who set that interview up, not the one that's on the screen right now, but the other dude, I think his name is Ebro, but you know what I mean, he's known for doing, you know, corny stuff like that anyway. Yeah, I mean, but you know, to ask him about the, you know, that case that he had and stuff like that, I mean, of course everybody want to get their clips in and stuff like that, or they you know, their views up, and they want to do the baits, the clickbaits, or whatever it is, man. Yeah, I mean, I feel Kodak Black on that. It's like, man, listen, the information and whatever y'all believe is entirely up to y'all. The information is out there, man. Listen, we gonna have a real interview or not. You know what I mean? Like, don't be asking me questions about no moon landings. That's why I agree with him. That's bullshit too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all only have me up here just to ask me that question and stuff like that.
We don't have to talk about nothing else. We could be done right here.
All right, I'm going. Say less.
Well, that's a bummer.
I don't know. People don't tell me what to talk about on my show.
If you got hit, even as a passenger or in an Uber, you need to try this. I'm an attorney. I've been doing this for years. And I'm standing here because most people...
Children's Safety Village. That's where police found the bag. A place...
Oh yeah, Ebro got emotional. He got mad because Kodak Black ain't want to talk about that. Like how you sit here talking about you ain't gonna tell somebody what to talk about on your show, but how can you tell somebody what they want to talk about? Like, if you don't want to talk about something that's about him, you know what I'm saying? Like, who are you to tell somebody they need to talk about it because you're on my show? Like, yo, like, relax, bro. That's cornball shit.
Place literally named after protecting kids. That's where officers responding to a shots-fired call found Kodak Black standing near two vehicles, a BMW and a Lamborghini SUV, while they searched for the source of a pink bag containing 25 grams of MDMA. That's enough to trigger a felony trafficking charge in Florida, not a possession charge. Trafficking, between 14 and 200 grams. He didn't leave, he didn't stay quiet, he walked up and watched officers search the cars. And according to the police report, when everyone on scene was asked if the bag belonged to them, Kodak denied it like everyone else, but then tried multiple times to have the cash inside the bag turned over to him, claiming it belonged to his business. He wouldn't claim the drugs, he wanted the money. That detail alone became the headline. It's the kind of move that doesn't look good from any angle. To understand how a 29-year-old with platinum records and a devoted fan base ends up here, you have to go back to where this started. Kodak Black, born Dieudonné Octave, grew up in the Golden Acres public housing projects in Pompano Beach, Florida, raised by his Haitian immigrant mother after his father left early. He started rapping at 6 years old. By 12, he was in a rap group. He was also expelled from school in 5th grade for fighting and arrested for auto theft in middle school. The streets pulled him in early because there wasn't much else pulling in the other direction. His 2014 single No Flocking caught Atlantic Records' attention. He signed at 17. By
I have to disagree with that. Excuse me. Talking about the streets pulled him in because there wasn't no other direction. You know what I mean? Like that's what a lot of people like to bank on when it comes to that. Like, you know what I mean? I get it. You know what I mean? To a certain extent. I mean, that's what happens when there's no real guidance in the crib. You see what I'm saying? Like she already said, he was raised by his immigrant mom. You know what I mean? Because the father left early. We don't know the extent of that, but what we do know is my man got into the streets, or homeboy got into the streets because what else was there to do? You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. And plus, you're growing up in public housing, the projects, whatever the case may be. You already know. You know what I mean? That's just how it is when you are, growing up into a community like that. It's still a community, regardless if it's an upscale suburban type community or it's what a lot of people like to call a cesspool or whatever. That still is a community. It's just the rules is different, the lifestyle different, the people different. You see what I'm saying? It's still a community, you know. But gotta stop running around with that, that same mentality as far as because my pops wasn't there or whatever the case may be. Like there's a lot of people in this world that had a single mom growing up, grew up in a single parent household, but they found their avenue. I mean, like for instance, I mean, I'm not saying he didn't. He did. He rapping, He found his avenue. He stuck with it. But let's be honest. When any kid don't have much guidance, kids is gonna get in trouble. Period. That's inevitable.
2018, his album Dying to Live debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, with the single Zize hitting #2 on the Hot 100. A kid from public housing had made it to the very top of the charts, but the legal trouble never stopped running parallel to the music. In 2019, he was arrested for lying on paperwork to purchase firearms, claiming he wasn't under indictment while he was actually out on bond for a sexual assault case in South Carolina. He pleaded guilty to the gun charge and was sentenced to 46 months federal time, a sentence his own attorney called disproportionate for a non-violent offense. The South Carolina case was more serious. He'd been accused of sexually assaulting a young woman in a hotel room in 2016, when he was 18. The victim reported it to a school nurse, meaning she was young enough to be in school. He faced up to 30 years. After his federal sentence was commuted by Donald Trump in January 2021, he still had...
All right, so she said that the student was young enough to be in school. I mean, that's like, you gotta have more details. I mean, the details is public. I'm not digging into that stuff, but I'm just going based off of the way she worded it. Like, was young enough to be in school. Stop the bullshit. You know what I mean? You have people that's 18 years old, that's seniors in school. You know what I mean? At that particular time, there probably wasn't a situation, like anything wrong with that. I mean, my man was probably, 22, 23? I should probably look into that before I make my comment on him specifically. But let's keep it a buck, man. There's seniors that's in high school that's 18. That's legal age. You know what I mean? So, what you talking about?
had to face South Carolina. He pleaded guilty to a reduced charge of first-degree assault and battery and received 10 years suspended to 18 months probation. His statement to the victim,
"You don't know what an AI work management platform is? Yikes. Here's 3 new AI-powered changes to the Monday platform.
I apologize this happened and I'm hopeful we can all move forward, was legally careful, neither a full apology nor a denial. The Trump commutation itself fractured his fan base. The White House cited his charity work, turkey drives, school supplies, free AC units for families in Pompano Beach and Miami's Little Haiti, and noted support from Gucci Mane, Lil Yachty, and others. Some fans saw gratitude, others saw something more transactional. That debate never fully resolved, and both things about Kodak Black are genuinely true at the same time. He's handed out hundreds of free air conditioning units in neighborhoods like the one he grew up in, telling recipients he remembers what that heat feels like without relief. He's also been arrested more times than most people change jobs. After the commutation...
I mean, I'm not sitting here saying Kodak Black is an angel. I ain't sitting here saying he a demon either. But what I am going to say is this. Anytime somebody does something good whether it's genuine, well, mainly if it's genuine, and people can see that as genuine, man, they wait for people to, fuck up, so to speak, because they can't wait to put that dirt on your name. Simple as that. So you could sit here and give back to a community 1,000-fold, 1,000,000-fold, but everybody always gonna remember that one mess up, and all that you did is gonna be pretty much erased. I mean, yeah, you still gonna have some people that's gonna see the good that you're doing, but the mass majority of the people is just gonna straight up, they're gonna ride with the fact that you did something wrong. And it's kind of corny because name one person in this world, famous, average, regardless, that lived a life with no mistakes. You see what I'm saying? You can never please everybody. You can never please everybody. You see what I'm saying? Especially when you're doing something for a neighborhood that the government is like pretty much trying to, they neglect. So it's like, even if you do live in the jacks, you see what I'm saying, stuff like that, and you trying to do good, you throw your money out there, build a whole new court or whatever, man, listen, you're gonna be a target. They're gonna look for something, whether it's old or not. They're gonna dig something up and be like, yo, this person ain't the person that they say that they trying to act or portray they is. You know what I mean?
The arrests kept coming. Florida Highway Patrol pulled him over for tinted windows, smelled marijuana, searched the vehicle, and found 31 oxycodone tablets along with nearly $75,000 in cash. In a separate painkiller case out of Broward County, he allegedly violated bail by missing a drug test and then testing positive for fentanyl, one of the most dangerous substances circulating in the country, often showing up in pills people don't even know contain it. In 2022, he was shot in the leg in West Hollywood after a fight broke out near a Justin Bieber afterparty. 3 others were injured. He released his album Back for Everything 2 weeks later, debuting at number 2 on the Billboard 200. Through all of this, fellow artists have been watching, and not staying quiet about it. Boosie Badazz has probably commented on Kodak more than anyone else in the industry, and what makes Boosie's commentary different from outside criticism is that he's lived through serious legal trouble himself. When Kodak appeared on Kai Cenat's Twitch stream and seemed to take a Percocet on camera, then dismissed fans who expressed concern and blocked many of them, Boosie didn't go easy. "I get mad when I see you look like you drugging and thugging," he said publicly. "You know you wasn't supposed to with that. That's not a diss. That's someone who recognizes the signs from the inside and is genuinely scared. The relationship between them isn't simple hatred." Boosie has said directly he holds Kodak to a higher standard precisely because he believes in the talent. Their feud escalated sharply after.
Right. And I agree, but like I said, man, I'm gonna give my my opinion and stuff like that. It's just me. It's just my opinion. You know what I mean? So the fact that, first and foremost, a person. Let me fix this real quick. A person is gonna do what a person is gonna do. I said this to a few people. You know what I mean? Girlfriend, brother, all that. It don't matter what you do. A person's gonna do whatever it is they want to do. That person that you have high standards for, or have you view in a high regard, it is not that person's responsibility. It is not that person's responsibility to maintain whatever they want to do with their life for you. You see what I'm saying? It's your responsibility to accept a person for what they do with their life, because it's their life. You understand what I'm saying? So the fact that, she said Boosie felt some sort of way because of what Kodak did. Kodak's been doing what Kodak's been doing for however long Kodak's been doing what he's been doing. So the fact that you think because now he's famous and he got money, he's going to sit here and change who he is as a person, he is who he is. And this goes for everybody, not just Kodak, everybody. A person is who they is. You accept it. You accept them for that. If you can't accept them for that, then it's your responsibility to go ahead and, let that person do what they want to do comfortably. Simple as that. Yes, it may be disappointing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But at the same token, that person is going to live their life the way that they want to live their life. Simple as that.
Kodak collaborated with Tekashi 69, an artist who cooperated with federal prosecutors against his own associates, one of the clearest stigmas in hip-hop culture. Wack 100 defended the move by posting proof of the $1 million Kodak was paid. Boosie's response was blunt. This and ain't got no morals, don't got no principles. Kodak's pattern when confronted is consistent. He deflects. When pressed about his behavior, he's pivoted to attacking the other person's personal life rather than addressing the concern directly. When fans worried about the pill he took on Kai Cenat's stream, his response was to take another pill on Instagram Live while addressing the controversy, proving either that he doesn't have a problem or that he doesn't care if he does.
Or he's letting people know he's going to do what he wants to do because it's his life. You see what I'm saying? It's that simple. You know what I mean? How you expect a person to not be the person that they are, then now they're being fake, right? He's doing what he's doing, and he's doing it on camera or whatever because he's being genuinely who he is. So now it's like you criticize somebody for being who they genuinely are. But then at the same token, if they try to hide it and then all of a sudden you find out now they fake. You know what I mean? Again, that's why I say, yo, you can't please everybody. People gonna accept you for who you is or they not. Simple as that, man.
Video later surfaced of him appearing to nod off on stage in Texas while crew members tried to hold him up. His attorney had to issue a statement clarifying he was off drugs after a separate video showed him eating in the middle of the street. His response to all of it, in his own words on Instagram Live, I wake up like this. That phrase, I wake up like this, is meant to convey normalcy, but applied to a pattern stretching across years, multiple substances, and repeated court appearances, it reads less like
either is he wake up like this, he's telling you, this is who I am. I wake up like this. I wake up being who I am. I'm not here putting on the show for nobody. That's how I take it. I mean, I could be wrong. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. But that's how I'm deciphering what is being said.
freedom, and more like someone who doesn't remember what a different baseline feels like. There's also a darker moment that cost him significant goodwill. Comments he made suggesting he'd pursue Nipsey Hussle's grieving partner Lauren London within a year of Nipsey's murder. He later apologized, but the apology didn't undo what the statement revealed in the moment. What makes Kodak's situation genuinely complicated is that none of this cancels out the other half of who he is. He's read dictionaries and thesauruses to build his vocabulary while getting expelled for fighting. He's released music, like the track Inside I Suffer, that's emotionally raw and honest in ways that connect deeply with listeners who recognize their own pain in his. He's sold over 30 million singles. Younger artists from similar backgrounds cite him as the reason they started rapping at all. That's the tension nobody around him has figured out how to resolve. The same instincts that make his music feel real and unfiltered are connected to the same lack of filter that keeps landing him in courtrooms. Now he's facing his current MNEMA trafficking charge with a defense team that's confident. His attorney has handled serious cases before and entered a not guilty plea, requesting a jury trial. The state pushed for an increased bond and asked him to surrender his passport, citing his lack of ties to Orlando. His legal team pushed back, noting he has a U.S. passport and no plans to leave the country. Whatever happens in that courtroom, the larger question that keeps surfacing among the people who actually know him isn't about guilt or innocence on this specific charge. It's whether the talent and the connection he's built with millions of listeners can outlast a pattern that's been running since before his first hit single. Art doesn't cure what created it. It can express the pain, give other people language for their own, and still not be enough to interrupt the thing driving the cycle. That's the uncomfortable truth sitting underneath every rapper who's spoken up, every fan who's shared a worried comment, and every headline that keeps connecting his name to a courtroom instead of a studio. Do you think Kodak Black can actually turn this around? Or is the pattern too deep at this point? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for more breakdowns on the stories the industry doesn't want to slow down long enough to really look at.
So, at the end of that video, like my conclusion, I see it as a person just being who they is. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. Yeah, you know, like again, I get a person who's a celebrity or a famous person, their life is gonna be in the limelight, but that doesn't mean that they gotta sit here and not be who they is. It's as simple as that. All I see is just a regular person that's in a position to where his life is being followed and criticized based on the masses of people who put him in a higher standard, and now because they realize that he don't live his life the way that they want him to, or they thought or think that he should, now they want to sit here and criticize him and call him some, you know, somebody he ain't, or put his business out on public, you know, or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, like I said a few times throughout the video, a person's gonna be who a person's gonna be. There's nothing you, I, or anybody else could do about that. You know what I mean? They're going to be who they are going to be. That's just in their DNA. That's just in their mentality. That's their character. That's their personality. You can't change that shit. It doesn't matter what you do for them. You know what I mean? And that's probably why, like she said, the commentator on the video said, he makes good music because he puts the truth out there, the truth of who he is. He's not fabricating stuff. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with some of the, you know, rappers and the industry in general. It's a facade. Straight facade. You know what I mean? They struggle just like everybody else struggles. It's just that we have the ability to keep it within our limits. They don't, because they're always in the limelight. And so now people feel some sort of way because they're like, oh, you got all this money, you got this fame, you got this, you got that. You shouldn't be feeling like that. Man, listen, we're all human. All humans have issues. All humans have problems. All humans get depressed. You see what I'm saying? All that tells me is money can't solve your problems. This ain't, I'm not saying nothing new. A lot of people know that. And don't let nobody else tell you otherwise. Like, oh man, you know what? Money can't buy happiness, or money can solve problems, or money can buy happiness. No, it can't. No, it can't. It's just a tool to use in life. That's it. You could do this, you could do that, but whatever is residing inside of you, you can distract it with the money, but it's never going anywhere. That's why a lot of people are always chasing thrills. They cannot stay calm. They cannot relax because their problem is always going to be there. That's why drug addicts, they always stay high, because they're trying to run from whatever it is that's within them. The only thing that can solve the issue that's in you is you. You have to face that. That's what that movie was. That Bruce Lee movie, Into the Dragon, that's what that was about. But anyway, man, that's it for this video, man. Hit that thumbs up. I hope y'all liked it or whatever, but I'm gonna try to keep these joints going. Man, I said that before. Anyway, man, hit that thumbs up button, and deuces.